It's... it's because I like you. Wait, what? Tess's eyes widened, her expression more disbelief than surprise. I'm sorry. I was so wrapped up in your present, I must have misheard. I swear I thought you said, I like you, Tess. Art finished with more conviction, pushing down the doubt growing inside him. Tess stood up, eyeing him as if he were a merchant trying to swindle her. What do you mean by like? I swear, Arthur, if you say you like me as a friend, or as a sister or something, I'm going to... I like you as a... He paused, then let out a sigh. I love you. Tess's lips trembled, her eyes shining like stars as she tried to contain her emotions. I love you as a girl, Art assured her, standing and reaching for her hand. I hope that you feel the same way about me, and well, maybe we can, start a relationship together. You're lying, she said breathlessly. I'm not. She sniffled. Yes, you are. Do you want me to be? Art asked with a slight smile, his hand hovering above hers like a nervous bird, unwilling to settle. No, I don't know, Tess admitted, her head bowed. It's just, I imagine things going differently for us. Differently? How? Art asked, feeling the awkward frozen smile plastered across his face, while much of his body seemed to have momentarily lost its ability to move. I thought that I'd have to get stronger and prettier and older to wow you and sweep you off your feet, she said, lightly hitting him on the arm. The words triggered a sudden flashback to their childhood in the city of Zestier. The tension shattered like glass, and for a fleeting moment, they were 6 years old again, giggling and teasing each other, unsure how else to express their feelings. Can I still look forward to you sweeping me off my feet? Oh, be quiet, before I sweep you off your feet and down the mountainside, Tess snapped, her eyes glistening with tears, but her mouth twitching into an uncertain smile. She held up the silver leaf charm. Put this on for me. Art took the pendant back, but instead of undoing the chain clasp, he pressed the two ends of the leaves together. With a click, the silver leaves separated into two individual pieces. Holding one of the leaves, he draped the silver chain around Tess's neck. Here, half for you, half for me. Tess gazed at her silver leaf for a moment before untying a long leather cord wrapped around her arm. She threaded his silver leaf through the cord, weaving it carefully through the silver loop that formed the stem of the pendant. Turn around, she instructed, and bend down just a bit. You're too tall. Art obeyed, and his breath caught as he felt her close behind him. She passed the leather cord from one hand to the other, pulling it carefully around his neck and tying it so the leaf dangled loosely against his chest. Then her arms wrapped around his waist, embracing him from behind. I love you too, idiot, but we're at war. We both have responsibilities and people that need us, she whispered solemnly. Art wrapped his hands around hers. I know, and I have things I want to tell you, so how about we make a promise? What sort of promise? Tess asked. A promise to stay alive, so that we can have a future together, a relationship, a family. Her arms trembled, but her voice remained steady. I promise. Tess pulled her arms away, but Art didn't turn. He stared out at the beast glades, his mind torn violently from their mountainside ledge, their conversation, even from Tess. In the gloom, he almost missed the cloud of dust rising behind a large hill only a few dozen miles away. It's too soon, he muttered. Beside him, Tess raised a hand to her mouth, stifling a gasp. The reports had been wrong. The horde couldn't be more than a few hours away. The beast horde was coming. It wasn't long before the sounds of battle thundered behind her. The earth trembled, trees shuddered as if mourning their kin torn apart in the clash. More than once, the gales surging from behind nearly knocked her off her feet, but she resisted the urge to look back. Fane was doing his job. She had to do hers. She kept running until her legs turned to lead, Each step grew heavier, as though she were wading through tar. No matter how desperately she tried to force her body forward, it refused. Her feet rooted to the ground, her strength utterly spent. How far had she gone from the last array? She couldn't tell. Every yard felt like a mile, and her mind was mush, as if her thoughts had been hammered flat, boiled into broth, and poured back into her skull. Idiot! Didn't I tell you to keep running? She hadn't heard him approach, but there was no mistaking Fane's rough voice. She had never been so glad to hear his grating words. Without pausing, Fane ducked under her arm, guiding it around his neck, and half-carried, half-dragged her forward. Fane, your arm, she gasped, her eyes wide. Not important, he snapped. I need you to focus on guiding me. Questions crowded her throat, but now wasn't the time. Summoning what strength she had left, Cersei pointed in the direction True Sense had last revealed, directing the battered striker toward their goal. It was with mild surprise that Cersei realized the sun was rising. They had been running through the night without pause, and now Fane looked close to collapse. He was forced to focus most of his mana on the stump where his left arm had been, just to keep from bleeding out. What little remained, he poured into reinforcing his battered body, keeping himself upright and moving. We're almost there, Cersei cried, pointing toward an opening in the woods just ahead. Just a bit more. You need to focus everything you have on the 3-point array. Do that, and our mission is a success, Fane huffed, his voice ragged. Can you do that? I can. They stumbled to a halt, and Fane all but dropped her to the ground. For a moment, Cersei thought he meant for her to begin work on the array immediately, but she was only half right. His emblem glowed brightly beneath his shirt as he stepped forward, summoning the Spear of Wind once more. He leveled it at the figure approaching through the trees. An elf. The same elf who had spotted them when they were hidden in the tree. Maeve and Cole had stayed behind to fight him, and if he was here now, alive, then they had not survived. Our lives are the light that will guide Alakria to victory, Cersei muttered under her breath, her focus momentarily torn from the array as the elf, Albold, drew nearer. He looked battered, wounded, exhausted, but still alive. A sharp thwip cut through the air. Before Cersei could register what it meant, Fane's windspear moved, batting aside the arrow that would have ended her life. Damn it, Cersei, this will have to do, Fane growled through clenched teeth. Make the array. Now. Trusting Fane to keep her alive for the next few minutes, Cersei ignited her crest one final time. Imprints of the 3-point arrays blazed across her mind like a glowing map. They had run too far from the last array. This one would require blood to be strong enough to register. Drawing her blade, she shakily dragged the edge across her forearm, letting blood drip into the soil. The sudden clash of weapons behind startled her, but she refused to look back. A sharp thwip split the air, followed by the heavy sound of impact. Fane groaned. Cersei's hands trembled as she began forming the array. Damn it, it's not strong enough. She tried to force more mana into the first point, but chaos pressed in from all sides. Out of the corner of her eye, the trees swayed violently. Another grunt rang out, this one not Fane's. A sharp ache burned from her crest, growing unbearable as she poured mana into the pool of blood seeping into the ground. The bowstring loosed again. A white explosion burst in Cersei's head, and she found herself sprawled on her side, pain crawling up her arm like fire. Forcing herself back onto her knees, she stared at her right arm. It was mangled beyond repair, her hand useless, unresponsive. The array, Fane croaked behind her. I can't, she moaned. Thoughts scattered. It felt as if every inch of her arm had been stabbed again and again. Blood pooled beneath her. Cersei knew it wouldn't be long until she died. A part of her almost welcomed it. But then she thought of Seth. He was waiting in a hospital bed back in Alakria, teetering on the edge of death himself. Even if she couldn't live, shouldn't he have the chance? She didn't know where the strength came from, but somehow she forced herself back to her feet. Blood poured freely from her mangled arm, but that no longer mattered. She knew what she had to do. I hope you can forgive your sister for not being able to make it back home, she whispered. I'll sleep with you in my heart, forever. She staggered to the side, leaving a trail of blood in her wake. The pain dulled, fading into a cold numbness that spread through her body. Fane came into view. He was barely standing, drenched in his own blood, yet still he fought. Without words, he continued to protect her, gusts of wind knocking aside the glowing projectiles that streaked through the air toward her while she worked to complete the array, etching power into it with her life's blood. She took another faltering step, but then the world tilted, and she realized she had collapsed. From where she lay, she could see Fane still on his feet, spear spinning into a whirling wall of destruction as he held back Albold and another elf. Almost there. Cersei crawled forward, dragging her ruined arm across the ground to continue the bloody trail, though her vision was blurring. She couldn't have been unconscious for more than a heartbeat, yet somehow the world had shifted. An entire row of trees had vanished, revealing a towering wall. Atop the wall stood hundreds of elves, each armed with staves or bows. Their weapons glowed in a dozen different hues, green, yellow, blue, casting eerie light over the battlements. Hovering above them was a lone figure, the she-elf devil. She raised one hand, her finger leveled at Cersei, and blue energy gathered at its tip. "Cersei!" Fane's shout snapped her out of her daze. A raw, desperate scream tore from Cersei's throat as she forced every last drop of mana through her crest. Mana, blood, and strength drained from her all at once, leaving her body slack and hollow. But it didn't matter. It had worked. Every imprint she had carved into the forest was now linked, the path lit like a beacon. Every sentry waiting beyond the tree line would be able to sense the arrays. She had forged a trail, leading the Alacrian army straight to the enemy's heart. She could no longer feel her face, but she prayed she was smiling as she lifted her gaze to the wall of Decathian soldiers. She wanted them to see her expression, to understand. "Even this damned forest won't keep you safe anymore," she whispered hoarsely. "The Alacrian army is coming for you."